Now let's look at some social development during adolescence. We know through Eric Erickson, this is a stage where adolescents go through the identity versus role confusion phase. They ask themselves, who am I and what do I want to be? They may try out different roles, different identities to see what sticks with them. And if that identity is achieved, then this crisis is resolved. Otherwise, we may experience a role confusion of who really am I and who really do I want to be? I don't know that. Identity is continually developing rather than forming. Okay. It's developing. And they're working on the self concept as well as self esteem. The self concept includes like self awareness based on beliefs, values, opinions, and thoughts, possible and ideal selves. And then with self esteem, there's no evidence of severe adolescent drop in self esteem. It's barometric. So self esteem may fluctuate and it's based on the self concept, as previously discussed, and relationships. Now, look, let's continue with this identity development. Gender identity. This is important to note sex versus gender because people will often convolute the two or think of it as the same. But your sex is biologically assigned, male versus female, whereas gender is dependent on the social situation, social construct, really, is what I'm trying to say. How one identifies is their gender. Those who are considered cisgender, they identify with their assigned sex at birth as a gender. And then transgender, so gender identity differs from sex assigned at birth. How one identifies is not congruent with their assigned sex from birth. Okay. And with gender expression, it's largely based on social expectations, masculine and feminine dimensions, interactions, clothing, and behaviors. And then that's different from one's sexual orientation. What with the gender that one identifies is not congruent with how, who somebody is sexually attracted to. Like I said, separate from that gender identity, and it denotes emotional and sexual attraction. Let's talk about some social changes. There's this shift, continual shift, which starts in middle childhood from parents to peers. Parent or peers are really influential during this stage, and the parent-child relationship really changes. They're given more autonomy, and there's less of control. Okay, and with peer relationships, there's this concept known as homophily, which is, for lack of better phrases, the birds of a feather flock together. Peer pressure can be positive. It doesn't always have to be negative. You could be peer pressured in a very positive manner. But deviant peer contagion is negative peer pressure. There's definitely plenty of that out there in order to fit in or oblige to a group. And adolescents definitely during this stage have the tendency to not want to be rejected by the group and will engage in behaviors or engage in behaviors that they normally wouldn't otherwise.